Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to night 8 of the 12 days of Christmas here from the Disc Jockey News. I'm John Young with the Disc Jockey News. You've got MJ and then the one and only Michael Schnauder is with us tonight. Good evening, guys.
Hey, hey.
Tonight, we're going to be giving away the 8th prize in our journey to Christmas.
The 8th day of Christmas. This jockey gave to
Forgot the hat. Forgot the Christmas hat.
We didn't have a hat, but I have my red
There you go.
microphone
I like
thing.
it.
So
Rudolph is back.
yeah, there we go. Wait, I even have duct tape. I could tape it on. That would be just
wow.
That would be so awesome.
We have to make sure Jeremy does the entire next Monday night show with his Grinch hat. He has to. There's no excuse. I'll try to find some Christmas hat that, or something.
That would be. And the thing is,
I never turned on the Denon tonight, so.
We're missing our Christmas Denon.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm thinking that has to happen. So tonight we're going to be giving away an iPad Mini. This is the 4. This is the brand new iPad Mini. This is sponsored by DJ Event Planner. DJ Event Planner is one of the big supporters of the Disc Jockey News. If you haven't had a chance to check this out, and if you do mobile work where you're out there doing events, whether it's teen dances or weddings or things such as that, they've got a great online planning set of tools where you can use a little, you can use a lot, and they can help you manage your company, work with employees, plan events with your clients. It's just a great tool. And they're going to get you an iPad Mini 4, which will allow you to access all of your information wherever you are, as far as you can go and you can log into the Wi-Fi at the hotel if you're doing a banquet, and you can go and check out, hey, the bride requested a song. There it is. You can just see it. It's so cool. So cool.
I had somebody explain it to me one time, and I was like blown away. I mean, it's so much more than just keeping track of gigs.
Exactly, and it's just crazy. And I use it, and I've been around it since the beginning. When I was one of the first few users of DJ Event Planner, and the things that he's added and such that I don't even grasp and use in the system, because it's like all of them. They've just all the different planning tools have just evolved so much over the years, because our businesses have evolved and really grown into things that are way larger than we probably ever thought they could be. I mean, Mike, we're thinking of weddings. 15 years ago, would you have thought about making the elaborate timelines that you do today?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And in the millennials, all of today's clients expect something online, some kind of an interface, some sort of a handy dandy tool to make things easier and for them. So it's just an absolute necessity if you're going to be dealing, especially with weddings, where you're dealing with planning for such a long range, a year before the event.
Yeah, or even in short ranges. I've had probably some of the people who've used the planning tools the most when it came to actually laying out their wedding day have been couples who, I had one where they called me about 10 days before. They had seen me at a wedding that Saturday, and their wedding was 2 weeks away. They saw me, loved what I did, and that's what they wanted to have at their day. They fired their DJ, which isn't something that I recommend. But they fired and they contacted me and said, "Yep, we need a DJ." And it's like, oh my goodness. And they're like, "Yeah, my mom saw you, I saw you, we loved you, and we fired our other DJ. And can you come and do it?" It's like, wow, that's
about the best endorsement you could ever ask for, right there.
That was kind of risky. I mean, what happens if something would have, oh no, my family and I are taking a trip. Sorry. No, they did ask me the night of the wedding if I was open that, so it's not. But,
yeah.
So you're that guy, John.
I was in that particular case. I was that guy. Now the interesting part of it is that I actually knew the other DJ, and I went and I did talk to them because I don't want to be that guy. And I went and chatted and apologized. And said, this wasn't my idea. And he's like really cool about it. He's like, hey, I know what you can do. And as we've been talking and planning with them, what they want is not what we could do. And we were trying to figure a way to gracefully bow out. But he goes, the problem is that our rate and your rate, you're three times our rate. And for us to recommend and say, you need to go there instead, and they're going to feel like we're, kind of gouging them. But when they found out naturally that this is what they needed to do, and they were the ones who instigated the move, it worked out well.
Awesome.
I want to go back to something you said, Mike, a little bit ago about how that the millennials want the online ability to do things. I was actually in a local DJ chapter meeting about a year ago and watched them laugh at me because I said how important that is to have an online presence for these. And they're like, no, they don't need anything like that. All they do is pick up the phone and call me. I don't need anything like that. And I'm just standing there going, holy cow. And then about a year later, another guy came in that they respected him. And he's like, yeah, I get like 40, what do you say? 60 to 70% of all my stuff for the weddings is both booked online and communicated online. And they're all like, what? I'm like, did I not just tell you this a year ago? They didn't take me serious because I'm a club DJ.
And we'll build up. Let's get.
You said that it's important. Yeah.
Yeah. MJ, you made a really good point. And for those of you watching, I want to add something to this because there's a little component to this that is critical right now for those of you who are wedding DJs. But we're going to get back to that. We'll do that after the drawing. So you're going to have to watch. We're doing a Howard Stern to you. Is that there's this really cool thing about for a wedding DJ that'll really make you successful. But we get this drawing first.
And the winner is announced right after this.
And then we get a commercial. So
we'll be back after this commercial.
We're doing the commercial, right?
Yeah, precisely.
Okay, we're doing the commercial first.
We'll get the commercial. We'll get the drawing because we've got the iPad to do, and then of course we've got some people chatting.
And then it's us.
And we got, hey, Ian's here earlier tonight. Yay!
Yeah.
Nice. We got the crowd. They are in the chat room. So, gang, what we're going to do is before we get to the drawing, we're going to run our commercial for all the sponsors. Once again, you know the drill. If you can show them some love, DJ Event Planner is our sponsor tonight. We want to thank all of our sponsors, not only DJ Event Planner, but all the way from Projectogram all the way through to the EV. I mean, everyone has really just been hugely supportive of this, and you guys out there are the ones who are making this a successful campaign, and that's really what these sponsors want to see. So thank you very much for your support and being there for us. But right now, these are the companies that we ask you to go out and show some love to.
Disc Jockey News is celebrating the 12 days of Christmas with 12 amazing prizes you could win. Prizes include 10 free stock digital gobos from Projectogram, 6 months online music download service from Top Hits USA, an Ultra Pin Spot light and remote from Eternal Lighting, an illuminated DJ facade from Omni Systems, an Easy Pin Pack Spotlight package from Chabé DJ, a Mega Tripar Plus Pack uplighting package from ADJ, 12 months online music download service from Prime Cuts, an iPad Mini 4 from DJ Event Planner, an MC4000 DJ controller from Denon DJ, 15 specialty video DVDs or drag and drop discs from Promo Only, 2 Laser Blade Gs and 2 Little Gs from Blizzard Lighting, and 2 EV EKX12 tops, plus a free pass to hear EV live at Mobile Beat Las Vegas 2016. To sign up, stop by discjockeynews.com 12 days, and all prizes will be delivered in time for Christmas to be put under the tree. Best of luck, everyone.
So those are the sponsors. They are the ones that made this happen and a lot of the things that happen at the Disc Jockey News. So again, show them some love when you see them because that's what makes the world go round, gang. Love makes the world go. Okay. Sorry, guys.
I was not going to interrupt you singing.
I knew if I went too far, you would not interrupt me. That's the part I was worried about.
Now, next we'll have to have you sing the theme to Love Boat.
The Love Boat. That's as far as we get.
Come on. Okay, I'm not going to.
Yeah, soon we'll be making another tour.
Okay. In the nightclub, just in case you don't know, in the nightclub business, we have this thing, the last song of the night, we call it the Get the F Out song. And it's playing something so horrible that we want people to leave. And I had a friend that used to play the Love Boat theme and would sing it as loud as he could over the microphone.
Did they throw stuff at him? Was it
No, they left quick.
A Roadhouse moment?
No, they left quick.
See, and for a while I was doing Black Velvet. Alana
That
Miles?
wouldn't make people necessarily leave. I do.
Well, it was coming off like the high energy. We were doing the 120 beat, and it was just like a boom, slow, and then we went to that because what I wanted to do is just have that extreme, but I wanted to have something that was still a little bit. I didn't want to send them out with and it worked really well for about a month. I was using it every Saturday night, and then one of the last Saturday nights I used it, a really, really hot young lady went out and did this really, really nasty dance to it. after that, people were waiting for her every week because that was like, so.
That's why one of my main last songs of the night is the ending theme to the Lawrence Welk Show. And if you guys don't know that, go look it up. Go to my YouTube page. I actually did a remix that I play in a video and everything I did for it. But yeah, you got to pick stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I was being kind of naive and all of a sudden.
Because when you said that, I'm like, people would dance to that if you're at the right bar, they would for sure.
Yeah, and at the time it was that, but again it was a hotel bar, so you get people coming in and out that aren't typically there. And that one Saturday night, she was popular.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, we're not giving her away. So
no, we're not. We're not. We're going to be giving away an iPad Mini. This is sponsored by number 4. This is sponsored by DJ Event Planner. We went and we pulled the list off earlier, so we have that right there. And we have got the randomize.
He's going to be the drum.
He's going to
drum roll tonight.
He's going to do the drum roll. Okay, and our random number is 1330 is the number.
1330. So if you were the 1,330th person to sign up, this is you. So if you know that number.
Yeah, exactly. If you happen to know, as you were sitting there and feeling.
And you've seen the number. And
I feel like I'm person number 1332.
If you've gotten into breaking our code.
Okay. Copy that.
So congratulations to
Richard Carballo, I believe it is, from C Entertainment. Richard Carballo. He is from Bakersfield, California. Hey, we are on the West Coast finally. Woohoo!
All right.
Congratulations, Richard.
iPad Mini 4.
He is the big winner of the iPad Mini 4. And we'll get that information over to...
Is there an emoticon for an iPad?
There should be.
There's a pager one. He's getting the pager one.
He's going to get the pager one. Give him the pager one.
We'll do that in the pager.
And for those of you who are named Juan, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't your number. Unless you've signed up early and often, which could happen, but...
Great.
But we've got 3 more drawings. Tomorrow night, Friday night, we're going to be doing, let's see, get my list back up here. 4 more. Oh, that's right. We have 4 more. What am I thinking? I'm off a day. Generally, my Wednesdays and Thursdays become a blur together because I've got other newspaper things for another publication. Yeah. Juan, this is our first person who isn't from the Midwest almost.
Yeah.
I think last time we were in Washington State last night, so I guess we've been on the West Coast.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you still ain't shown no love for the East Coast.
Yeah, we got to get some East Coast love in there.
It makes me remind of that. And again, you would remember me dropping back into these stories. I keep doing these stories from old stuff. It was it wasn't Hip Hop Awards. It was one of the magazines that did an award show, and they booed Snoop Dogg. He's like, "What? You ain't got no love for the West Coast? You ain't got no love for the West Coast?" So that's why I keep every time I go. You ain't got no love for the East Coast.
That's right. We don't.
Jersey.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't. We haven't picked any. And
I think it was Source Magazine Awards is what it was. Sorry, I'm like going on these things. I have squirrel moments. Squirrel.
That happens. Okay.
All right, cool.
So let's see. So tomorrow night, in the back, over the shoulder, MJ's shoulder, it's the Denon Christmas tree right there.
My Christmas Denon.
It's Christmas Denon.
To win the brand new Denon MC4000 controller, and if you don't know about it, go look it up. It's really good. It's the first step up away from like their beginners controllers, because this actually has balanced XLR outs on it, 2 mic outs on it, and everything. So it's a good first step if you want to be a little bit more professional, plugging into your speakers, other places, sound systems, multiple mics. It is a good first step, and it's really solid too. And it does that if you don't plug it into a computer. It just keeps looping. And I think I saw that. I'm like, oh, my goodness, that's like a Christmas tree. I'm putting it up.
Exactly. And now this is as festive as his house has been in a long time.
Yes, that is true.
So then that'll be Thursday night. Friday night, we'll be doing 15 DVDs, specialty DVDs from Promo Only.
Or drag and drop discs.
Yep, or the drag and drop discs. And that, as we've been talking, I think how many songs are on one of their specialty discs? Aren't there like 40 some songs?
No idea.
You guys, I've got
some of us don't do the big triple digit weddings to afford the specialty disc.
Okay, so
with,
and I because I use their pool service where everything is downloaded. I don't actually get the hard the discs anymore. I mean, I have them all on a shelf right over there. I have hundreds of discs that are just music videos.
I still get the discs, and they got, on average like 18 to 20 tracks, but this is audio.
Yeah, it's audio, and I know the video is. I want to say there's 40 tracks on there, so you take 40 times 15, so you're looking at 600 tracks of the best of those years or whatever you select. So that's really whoever's going to be getting that is going to be, if they're not already a music video DJ, you're going to have the tools to be a music video DJ right there. That'll be pretty cool.
Mike, I have a question.
Yeah.
What was that thing you held up there?
A disc.
A what?
A disc.
I don't understand. I've not seen one of those.
Ever? How young are you?
What's
No, yeah, it's the original promo only stuff.
Ooh.
Old school.
I don't think I've actually touched. I don't think it was early 2000s when I quit DJing with CDs.
Yeah.
So it's been a
Yeah,
long
I don't
time.
DJ with them, but I still get the physical media every month
It's
and then
good.
rip it.
It's like when I ever see somebody with a record, I go, man, I don't know what size computer that thing goes in, but it must be huge.
Ian made a comment here with over 5,000 entries. There are not 5,000 entries into the drawing. I can give you that much. I think we're getting close to 2,000 entries into the drawing. So I mean, your odds just went up exponentially right there.
Yeah.
Instead of 12 and 4,000, it's 12 and 2,000. So
Unless, I was going to say, unless between now and then we get a lot more people signing up.
that's true. That's true. If you guys share the things and such, because really, I realize it cuts down on your odds, but for the sponsors who are putting the things into this is what they want to see, is that more entries.
And we're bringing so much content every week that's where the value is. So
Yeah, precisely.
support the sponsors, support us, and keep the ball rolling.
It all works together.
Yes.
Okay, so Friday we're going to be starting a brand new video DJ on Friday. Someone's going to be busting out, and for Christmas they will become a VJ. Wow, it's going to be awesome. Saturday night we are off. I'm going to be taking my lovely bride out to an adult establishment, and we are going to have dinner and a cool beverage.
You left that way too wide open, John.
What?
An adult establishment.
I
Everybody in the chat's going, oh, wow, who's he married to?
A well-deserved night off is how I'm going to categorize that.
That's what it's going to be. So we're gonna head out Saturday night. We were going to try to go out last weekend, but sometimes when you have kind of the 7th and 8th grade boys and they've got friends, and all of a sudden they all appear at your house, you really can't go anywhere when there's a bunch of friends and they're like, yeah, in the back room. It's like, oh, that would
Mr.
probably
John
be
is
it.
so cool. Let's go hang out at his place.
Yeah, well, no, it's not me. It's my boys. They're the cool ones. I'm the old guy that just is there to make supper for them.
Wow.
Okay, so then Sunday we'll be back. We're going to be doing the lights from Blizzard Lighting. You're going to get 4 new lights. The little G's, which are kind of a flood type light or give you that kind of an effect. And you're also going to be getting 2 of their little laser lights that are on a moving head fixture. So you're going to get a really cool little light show. And that's going to be coming to you from Blizzard Lighting. Then Monday night, live chat night, when we all get together, we're going to be coming and giving away the big grand prize, which is a full EKX 12-piece sound system. So you're going to get the 2 tops. And then, of course, you're going to get a Mobile Beat Pass, which will allow you to go to Mobile Beat 2016, which, if you've been following, go to mobilebeatlasvegas.com. If you've been following, they've been putting up some really great information about a lot of the things they're adding to the show. And there was a big announcement from the ADJA, which is the American Disc Jockey Association, yesterday, and more today, that they are teaming up with Mobile Beat to come in there and be an exhibitor and to do their annual meeting and to really make it a big show in March of 2016. So we're really excited about that.
It's a great show to go see. And if you haven't been to a convention at all, it's a great place to go. So check it out. Look up the website. See if you can work it into your schedule and budget. Highly recommended.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not a hugely expensive event.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
I go to some of the, as an example, I'm going to a YouTube conference where it's $1,000 a pass.
And they're also very, very conscientious about making sure you're back to your hometown on the weekend to do your events.
Exactly. And that's not a lot of the other conventions you're coming in there and you're getting there on a Friday, and it's like a Friday, Saturday. And for us,
right. Those are prime nights. So
exactly.
the DJ conventions are all geared to let you leave on Thursday so that you're back home and doing what you need to do for the weekend.
Yeah. And that's so good. Good stuff with that. So So yeah, that'll be our prizes. We're going to be going until next Monday, the 14th. So if you haven't signed up, which I'm sure you all have, but you can go to discjockeynews.com/12 days. You can sign up there, and if you would be really, really nice, you could share that with your friends and say, hey, sign up but don't win. Or if you win, I want half of it. There you go. Get your friends to sign up and tell them you want a cut if they do win. That'll work.
Let's split it.
Yep, exactly.
We haven't picked a group tonight to offend.
We haven't offended anyone in a while, and I think part of that's because we're just missing Shani because she just brings it out in us.
No, I picked the past few nights just in they weren't there. I don't think I'm awake.
And not only that, but the birthday girl at that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she turned old.
Well, that's our topic next Monday night. We're just going to talk about that.
Man, I got a whole list of stuff, and I'm probably going to add to the list.
But tonight, guys, what I wanted to talk about in our time together here, we got about 20 minutes here, and this is something actually I was having this conversation earlier with a DJ that's semi-local to me here, is DJs are out on different chat boards and in Facebook groups, and maybe we'll meet them at different meetups. I know MJ's met some DJs at some meetups in his with his local chapters and things. DJs are looking for something in these groups. And I wanted to throw that out, guys, of what kind of things are you seeing that DJs are looking for? Because I don't think the answer is as cut and dry as it might be with some other industries.
I can tell you what they're looking for. They're looking to troll and offend other people. That's the biggest part of, I don't want to say the biggest part, but that's an ugly part of the chat areas and the different information sharing Facebook pages that I see that tick me off, because there's a lot of people that do have good information and need good information, and it gets so sucked up with all that crap.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody is an expert, and it just instead of just saying, look, this is my thoughts and my opinion, it's no, this is the way it's done, and it's presented in a whole different way. I recently pulled out of a chat out of a group chat that surprised me because I didn't expect it in this particular group. But what struck a nerve was my replies were directly to the original poster, and someone else in the group decided to start sniping what I was saying, and it really just like took the breath. It's like, oh no. So I went through and I literally deleted every single comment in that thread that was mine, and just bailed out of it completely because it just reminded me too much of some other place that I've been that I want to go. So, but yeah, everybody's an expert. Everybody knows everything, and then there's just some people doing some really weird stuff. I mean, you would be if we believed everything we saw in chat groups, there would be more lawyers than there are DJs. Yeah. They have all the legal knowledge you need to know.
That's close there, right there. Lawyers and DJs.
I mean, like, for example,
let's insult lawyers and DJs tonight. No, I insulted DJs last night. So.
Somebody recently in Louisiana, we do a lot of things differently. We have parishes instead of counties, and we still operate under what's called a Napoleonic law. And so we're literally different than the rest of the states. So anything I tell anybody is only going to work for me in my Louisiana territories. It's not going to work for Texas or anywhere else. And so none of that stuff ever gets taken into account when everybody starts ranting and raving. It's like, this is the way it is, and it doesn't matter where they are or where you are or what the jurisdictions in your area may or may not be. And some of the most ridiculous arguments I've ever seen is about whether it's deposit or retainer, and why those two words make a big difference. It can be really a lot of great hours.
Is it a legal term difference? Is that what it maybe makes the difference, that in legal terms one is more binding than the other?
Some claim it is, some claim it's not. And again, it depends on the state, depends on the wording, it depends on a lot of things other than just that one word.
Precisely.
From
mainly,
what I understand.
Yeah, for mainly.
Again, I am not a lawyer.
Right.
And this is one we've actually dug into, and I dug into with a couple of different entertainment attorneys, because we've had them speak at some of our events. And the biggest thing that they keep coming back to is it really doesn't matter what I tell you as a lawyer, because it's all going to be up to the judge on that particular day of what they want to interpret. because there's enough gray area, and maybe this particular day he thinks that the bride who wants her money back is cute and he wants to be nice to her.
Yeah, a lot of it is how it's framed. Not so much the word itself, but how is it positioned in the sentence, and the structure of it in its entirety, not just the one word.
That's what I honestly think, that people talk about the end of days apocalypse. I just think it's going to be lawyers. We're just going to get overrun by lawyers. That's going to be the apocalypse.
It definitely could be. It definitely could be.
I always wondered, is it true that sharks will not eat lawyers out of professional courtesy? Is that true?
We found the group.
But see, MJ, when you were saying, talking about the idea that that making fun of lawyers, but lawyers are kind of like DJs, there are many similarities between the two when you really think about it, because the lack of respect for lawyers is out there, and really as DJs, there's a lot of lack of respect for DJs. I think the biggest difference is that I think most lawyers will give each other a level of respect, and within the DJ community, I think very few DJs will give each other a level of respect.
And in both communities, you don't have to be a licensed person, because you can actually represent yourself in a court of law, and you can pretend to be a DJ. So, hey.
True.
I think that's fair, John. I think that's a fair analogy.
I don't know. I see it a little different. I mean, I don't know. And please forgive me for saying this, DJs, but I heard a friend of mine say it, and I think it's one of the wisest things I've heard. He goes, DJing is a job that does not require education. So you have a whole lot of people who are uneducated being DJs. So when you get opinions by uneducated people, they're usually uneducated opinions. Again, that's a generalization, but that kind of looks at a lot of things where people tend to have opinions where they think that their opinion is more of a defined black and white thing. Like I always said, everyone has the right to have an opinion, but no one has the right to be wrong about the facts. So there's a difference between facts and opinions.
Very much so. Very much so. And I think one of the negative things with that, as we're seeing more of the DJ conventions kind of start to get smaller and go away, is that our interactions now are going to be with people on Facebook. And we may even get to see a profile picture of the person or a couple of things here or there. But the ability to give your opinions and not have the background education-wise or even experience-wise to really substantiate your opinions in any way, shape, or form. And yet, as an outsider, I may not know that you're full of BS. And we've seen examples of that.
Yeah, because not everybody that's in these groups are at the same level. So you could have somebody who's just, beginning in their DJ world versus someone who's been doing it for 30 years.
I've heard people online who weren't DJs complaining about all DJs seem to talk about is each other and money. What's wrong with them? And this was a person who had nothing to do with DJing. And I'm like, that's what they see of us act like sometimes.
Yeah.
We do not have a love for each other. And especially, like I always joke with the club and EDM crowd, it's the one love saying, I'm like, there's no one love. Like love each other. No. Hey, it'd be nice, but it's a lot of lip service, not actions. I think. I see. I'm right in there with that, because I flat out say I don't have friends who are DJs. I have DJ friends, because there's a difference there. I don't consider them friends, but they're DJ friends.
Yep.
They're not people I would 100% trust, but I'll stand. No, but seriously, because there's a lot of them that it's just like, I'm not going to be their friend because I know at some point something ugly is going to happen. And I have certain friends of mine who are DJs that we know when we get together, absolutely, we do not talk about music or DJing or anything. Those subjects are off the board, because if they came on the board, we would be arguing with each other.
Sure.
That's all. I mean, there's a difference. So how did I get on that? Should I be talking about something else?
No, this is good. This is good. The guys are following in the chat room, and they're talking about some different aspects of it and such. So, but I think this is all, especially for some of the younger guys who, and I guess our goal for those of you who are 5 years or less of experience in this is to part of this discussion tonight was to kind of help protect you, maybe insulate you a little bit. Maybe not. That's not a bad way to say it, but that protecting it, because you'll find out that 80% of the people out there who are giving you advice probably aren't capable of or shouldn't be giving advice at that level. Maybe they are saying things that they've heard other people say. Maybe they've heard MJ say something, and now they're going to become an expert because they heard MJ say it. Whereas MJ has lived it, breathed it, studied it, knows it, compared to someone who's like, yeah, mixing this way or doing this or doing that is just how it is.
And you just have to keep in mind the geographical differences as well. I mean, like, we don't do cocktail hours for the most part here with wedding receptions. Yeah. And, we have a handful of club DJs, but it's not like, any mainstream thing, even though we are a college town. So not, just because we all play music to one degree or another doesn't mean that we're doing it the same way or the same crowd, or there's just so many variables.
Speaking of differences, do you guys, because you said about cocktail hour, for Western Pennsylvania, every wedding has to have a cookie table. Do you guys even know what that is?
A cookie table?
Yeah. See, I love when I do this.
We have sweets. I've seen tables with sweets spread out forever.
Yeah, well, we do it in Western Pennsylvania. It's specifically a cookie table. So when you come in, you can go to the cookie table until dinner's served.
No.
That's what I was saying about how the differences are.
Yeah, they're very regional, very unique, and very different. So my advice is that if you really want to ask questions, try to find people who are willing to mentor you in your area, who have the experience, who are willing to lead you down the right path for your geographical area, and who has the experience to speak knowledgeably about whatever it is that you're trying to learn.
Yeah, I think that's a great piece of advice there, because that is very, very important. But getting back to when we started talking about this, is Mike mentioned that there's a lot of the people that he's seen that when they're out there, they're not looking for information, they're looking to pick a fight, or like I was talking to a younger man a couple of days ago and asking him questions of, hey, if a person were going to do a DJ meetup, what kind of things would attract DJs to it? And they're not there for the education. They're not there for the training. They're not there. They don't really care about any of that. It's like, well, what would, well, if we could maybe win some really cool gear, or if we could go and play with a brand new mixer. And it's like, okay, so you're going to tell me that if we have a brand new mixer set up and all that, 20 people are going to come and stand around while watching you play on it?
Here's an example of this that I love to give. The Disc Jockey Association that I was a part of could barely get 7 or 8 people to come out. And that was a good night. Okay. Mm-hmm. We did a night down at one of the clubs that benefits, we do it each year, that benefits the DJ AM Foundation. If you don't know who he is, he was a really famous Hollywood DJ, and he died. And he has a foundation now that reaching out to other people who have addictions. And all we do is open that up to anybody who wants to be in it. And you only get at maximum a 10-minute set, or you might get an 8-minute set. We have like 40 guys try to sign up for this thing. So it's like every 8 minutes is a different DJ, because they want the opportunity to be seen DJing at these places. So it isn't money. I'm sorry. They pay $5 or $10 to do it, because you have to pay, whether you're a DJ or not, you have to pay at the door to get in.
Sure.
So this is, talking about what different people want. You can have a meeting where they give information and all this stuff and nobody shows up, but just the opportunity. But how many wedding guys would go out to a place and spin for free for 10 minutes? Probably not.
If that's set up.
Yeah. And from my standpoint, because I look at that and it's like, okay, what would I do for 10 minutes? I could do shtick for 10 minutes, but it wouldn't be spinning music. It would be doing games or activities and such. So
it's not even enough time to read anything, just throw blind dances and hope for the best.
The 10 minutes, you're mixing for 10 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever it is, and you have to put the best set together. When you get tapped on the shoulder, that's it.
So MJ, let's this is going to kind of go back to a little bit what we were trying to talk about a little bit a couple of nights ago, maybe it was. We were talking about that to get to that level, to be able to do a good set for that 8 to 10 minutes, it takes skill and it takes practice. How much practice would be involved in putting together like an 8-minute set that is tight and you're on, but you're actually doing live mixing, compared to a studio mix where you're basically standing up there and going?
Well, there's 2 different levels. Like I said, there's a level that like what we were doing. We're all guys who DJ in the clubs all the time, so it's really not a big deal to us. We literally just plug our computers in, DJ for, grab this song, whatever we want. And it's instant because we've done it for that long. But then again, you look at the guys that are in the DMC competition. If you don't know what the DMC competition, it's the biggest scratch DJ battle in the world. Those guys work a whole year for an 8-minute set. So they work a whole year practicing over and over and over and over and over. Like, like we would do 8 hours a day of a job. They do 8 hours a day of practicing. So there's a different thing depending on what your skill level coming into it. I mean, you could be that night as long as you can mix. But if you're a guy that lets the song play all the way to the end, you probably would never even be invited to be a part of that. It's about mixing, and it's about being creative with the songs and being creative with your mixes. And I know guys that do some really they go there to play the oddest songs or even genre stuff that they never get to. I have a friend that 2 years ago, he spun all booty mixes. And if you don't know what a booty mix is, look them up. And because he never gets to spin them.
Mm-hmm.
And he spun a whole set of booty mixes, nothing but that. One of the first years that I did it, like I said, was for the DJM. I picked all artists who had passed away and did, stuff like Left Eye from TLC, Michael Jackson, oh crap, who are some of the other ones? DOC from it's one of Dre's first people, and all these different artists that had passed away. So it's like whatever, but it's just creative going through it. And that's what that is. And again, if you go to it, like I said, being DJ friends, and Mike on chat was asking, because he's my friend, but he's a DJ. So he was asking, now, which am I, a friend or a DJ friend? A lot of those guys are there to show off and to make sure other people see me so that maybe I can get a job. So it's ego. It's the business. It's all part of what it is. And like I said, the only thing about the weddings is you guys don't cross paths as much as we do, I think. We're literally walking down the same street with each other, going to jobs, at bars across the street from each other and competing.
True. Yeah, I rarely see another DJ. Rarely, unless it's a scheduled meeting and we're going to lunch or something.
Yeah, or if they maybe are in a banquet room and we just happen to run into them, and that happens once every couple of years. I mean, there's been guys that we only live a few miles apart, and I haven't seen them in years because that's just the way it is. And we had a couple of questions. Buttery had a couple of questions about how to get more bookings and how to read a crowd. Love those two questions. We're gonna do we're gonna use those on a different show, because I think we could do a quick little thing on how to get some more bookings, to be able to drive that for a beginning DJ. And then I think the reading of a crowd could be a great discussion.
That's a one night. Let's talk about that for
exactly.
A long time.
Those are going to be big ones, because I think how I read a crowd, and MJ and everyone else, how we all look at that, I think is going to be a great discussion. So we're not ignoring you, but I just love those for another.
We're going to table those and give them the proper time that they need.
Precisely.
Hit me up in chat right now if this is something you would like to hear. And I thought about the other night, I mentioned it to John, to find some people who do multi-ops and talk about running a multi-op. Because I'm not a big people person, I think that's got to be one of the toughest things. So if that's something you guys in the chat would like to hear us do, just let me know and go, yes, multi-op, talk about it.
I have a topic I want to throw out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a pet peeve of mine. Playlist versus a request list. They are not the same. And we need to not only know the difference, but we need to educate our clients to the difference. There are two completely different animals.
Give me your opinion of them.
My opinion of a playlist is just like you would, like you would create on Spotify or anything else. It's a list that's going to play in the specific order that you've laid it out in. And hence that's where that name has come from. All of these different programs where you're laying out track by track by track by track.
Right.
A request.
Serato, that's called crates too, so they do it like that a little bit. Not totally.
Well, it's only crates in one program.
Yeah.
Not knocking that program, but that would be like saying the window key. It's only Windows.
So. It's just they're words.
Sure, but a playlist is a specific order, whereas a request list is, hey, these are some favorite songs. Mix these in any way you want. So to me, they're two very different lists. And so what's happening, and the reason that I'm bringing it up, is that more and more brides are catching DJs saying, well, give me a playlist instead of a request list. And then to some of us, that makes a difference. And so, like, if I have a client that comes to me and said, here's my playlist of what I want you to play at my reception, I'm going to ask, do you literally mean a playlist? Like, I've got to play these in this order?
In order.
And if they say yes, then I will tell that client, you need someone else. I'm not your guy. It's a deal breaker for me.
You think many guys do that with playlists, like order in order?
Well, it's what a playlist is.
I think there's a level.
Do you think people do that? I mean, because I couldn't imagine. I can't say that. I've seen many people do it. So yeah.
I think what you see more of is people who are doing maybe sets, and they're moving the sets around a little bit. But I think
Sure.
that's probably the bulk of it. Now I'm looking. If I go back when we were first starting the multi-system company, we really set things down where we had the sets laid out. And for the first hour and a half of a wedding, we really had the sets laid out into a playlist for the younger DJs who were just starting,
Right.
so that they had the confidence that they could do the first hour and a half of a wedding, and then by then they would be comfortable. Requests were coming in, they've read the crowd, and they could go on from there.
Agreed.
Wouldn't do that today. I wouldn't train a DJ to go that route.
Here's something that might think about. This was out last year. There's a company, they're just about ready to go nationwide, that does a service where they come to you rent this. They come to your party with 2 speakers and a touch screen that has music in it that you pay for. They set it up, they tear it down, they give you help if you need it, but it stays there by itself. So your guests just walk up, pick a song, and it goes in the order that they pick it, and it plays it the whole night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen variations of that.
Does everybody remember Winamp? How far back does this go? I mean, this is
that was my joke about Megaseg. When people talk about Megaseg, I'm like, it's 2 Winamp players stuck together.
Very much so.
Winamp was the original, Mac Daddy player that everybody first migrated to and started. It was a leader of its time, and I just fired it up just to make sure, because I wanted to make positive that I didn't misquote this. And when you extend the PL button, that's playlist, and there it is, Winamp playlist. So it started as far back as in the late 1900s.
Virtual has 2. They have a playlist and a hold list. So it's kind of neat to do that.
Yes.
Totally
But Virtual is a much later product by comparison. Yeah. So just tracing the roots back of that wording, it goes back a long ways. But like I said, for me, it makes a difference because, the request list gives you the ability as the artist to be able to work in guest requests, your thoughts, plus their requests, and be able to make this happen, and everybody comes out happy, as opposed to, here, put this on and just hit play.
And I think the part that we'll keep for a future show, guys, because we've only got about another 4 or 5 minutes here, is how we convey that difference and that information to clients, whether that's to a bride and groom, or even in a bar situation where the owner managers encourage you to take requests. And I've had people coming up in that situation, and hey, can I look at your playlist for tonight?
What songs do you have? Get the freak away!
Yeah, exactly that part. But it's like they're thinking that I've got things already planned out and scheduled. It's like, well,
what album do you have? What?
Yeah.
There's a place that I'm possibly going to be filming the Denon DS1 video at, that literally behind the DJ, in the DJ booth, they have a neon sign that's like 3 feet by 3 feet that says "No effing requests." I love that.
Nice.
I can't get away with that.
It's a private play. It's a private bar that is owned by a DJ. So he gives his DJs free reign. I'll
tell you a topic I'm working on that I think is important is the final planning session meeting with your clients, whether it's by phone or in person. But being able to try to get one-on-one with your clients and understand what it is they're expecting of you before you ever get there, and how important that is to the success of the event.
Just making notes.
Oh, he's making notes.
I'm making notes. Yeah. I've been.
I'm hearing crickets. I'm like,
yeah, no. It's good. It's good. I've got. These are definitely things we can talk about and such, because this is the kind of stuff that we in the wintertime. It's always nice to get that little refresher, especially Christmas time is a time, of course, of being with family and friends. But there's also a time where some of the stuff is like slows down a little bit, so we can actually spend. Okay, I'm going to take this little block of time and really go and try to learn and improve my skills. And this is a time to do that. I found for myself, because eventually the kids get tired of me. They're like, "Dad, why don't you go do something else? We're going to play."
Yeah, we all invest in gear. We all invest in lights. It's it's good to invest in yourself too. You got to keep it up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Don't get me started on that.
Don't break the kneecaps, man.
I get it.
Gonna pull out the NS7. It's gonna be ugly.
The face be swinging the MC4000, the 7, but that 4000's not swinging it in.
Yeah, exactly. I think no one's gonna get injured from that.
So iPad 4 Mini, 1330, DJ planning tools. Does that cap it up?
13:30. Yes, 13:30 was the and Richard.
I'm going. What?
Richard was our winner.
I'm like, you told me you were a little under the weather. I'm like, how much medication have you been taking?
I'm just bringing it all home, man.
Bringing it all back.
Dude, like it was like 27 on, when they had the cake.
And then there was that color. Remember that color?
It was all blue.
Who's on first, man?
And then they said that thing, and it was so cool. And then we all went, oh. Okay, Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up with this. This is the time of year as a wedding DJ that if you are kind of wondering on how to fill your calendar a little bit for 2016 and beyond, this is your time to do it, and it's all done via Facebook advertising. You might have seen some of my other videos where I talked about things you needed to do in the fall to kind of get yourself set up and such. Well, this is the time of year that you can put together a Facebook ad, and I'll talk about that for about this much in just a couple of seconds, but you can put together a Facebook ad and you can target it to engaged people in a specific area. And what's kind of cool at this time of the year is that when you have people coming back to their home area, you'll find that some of these engaged young ladies will actually say if they went to college and they're over here, they will actually make sure that their Facebook status is showing that they are in the geographic area, their home area. And some of them will actually change it for the 2 weeks during that they're now home. So in the Facebook search area, she may not have shown up in your targeted area a week ago, but she will show up there now. It's kind of a weird little thing, but this is something that is kind of a nuance of Facebook. So in order to do this, what you need to do is you need to find basically 3 to 4 really good pictures from your events. Don't steal some from Mike's event or my event or MJ's events. You've got to have some.
Feel free to take mine. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you need a
They all have me in it.
a Christmas
I'm coming
den,
after you if you got mine.
but if you're doing that, you take those pictures and you put those into a post. And right now, the way Facebook has it is you can put the multiple pictures up, and then you can go and you can set those up to go to a website or URL or something. Take the time to go through, and anywhere you can put specific information that kind of really will catch the eye of a female, because obviously the females are the ones who are using Facebook at this time of the year and are the ones we want to try to catch. Get things set up, have appealing pictures. If you have a girlfriend, guys, have her look at them to make sure that they're appealing and it's not too DJ-esque. 3 pictures, put those together, a nice little description of why they should come and check you out, why they should go to your website, why they should go to your Facebook page. Get that set up. Then go to the ad manager, set it up, target those brides in your vicinity, target them at with an interest in something that's similar to the level of bride you're looking for. So if you're looking for a kind of a mid-level bride price-wise, you're going to probably be looking at interests of local department stores. If you're looking for maybe a higher-end bride, you might be looking for a different interest that appeals to a higher-end bride, but do it intelligently. Just don't go in there and try to target every engaged woman in your area, because you're going to be throwing a lot of money away. Narrow it down. Even if it gets to the point where it says, oh, there's not enough in this. Yes, there are. There are probably 150 brides, and you could crank it up to $5 per engagement, and that's a little extreme, but you can crank it up, because those 100 people that you would be targeting, it's worth it to spend $3 to have one of those click over to your website and check you out. So this is the time. You've got about 2 weeks between now and Christmas, and now and just a little after Christmas, to really hit it hard, and then hit it hard a little bit more, a little less hard, but still a little bit more between then and New Year's. By January 3rd or 4th, shut the ads off. You're pretty much done, because you should have had the effect. And then you get into January, there you're fighting with everyone in their bridal show dollars. So anyway, just a little bit of a thought.
Genius, John. Does anybody tell you that very often?
No, because my wife is there to remind me that. She'll keep
humbling factor.
She'll keep me in line, and that's why I love that woman. Well, many reasons why, but that is part of it. So.
Cool.
So anyway, that's my thought, guys, and sorry if it took a little more time, but if that can help you, great. I've got a couple of tips on Facebook and YouTube. You guys can go and check those out on the Tuesday tips. Go to our YouTube channel.
Good
some
stuff.
there.
Gotta know it.
Yeah, and this is the day and age we live in. I mean, I could do a little thing on our the yellow page advertising, how to have effective yellow page advertising, and MJ would be like, "What's that?"
It's that thing that guy keeps putting on my porch that I have to freaking throw away.
Yes,
it drives me batty. I have to walk out the front door, down the steps, get it, take it in the house, and throw it away. Ugh. I literally do this, and no joke, and you can cut down after this. A lot of times, John, you do a lot of news sales. Walking through a store, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to have a subscription to the local newspaper?" And I literally look at them and go, "There's this thing called the internet now," and then walk away.
Oh, very much so.
At me.
Yeah,
And
I frequently ask clients and friends, "When's the last time you opened up a phone book?" And they all look at me like, "Are you crazy?"
Yep.
Thing propping up the table with the bad leg.
Yeah, that's about it. And
I can rip the book, man. I can rip it. I'm strong.
And that's the MJ mentioning the idea with the publications. Obviously, we have the Disc Jockey News newspaper, but as a lot of you know, newsprint is kind of becoming the way of the dinosaur, and we're probably within 2 or 3 years of the Disc Jockey News not having a newspaper anymore, just because people are consuming information, and we're getting almost coming back to what DJs want is they don't want to sit down and read a 700-word article anymore. Some do. Guys our age and older, they're okay with that. But younger DJs, they want to see a short 2-minute video on it, or maybe a blog post that's 200 words. They might look at those, but they're not going to read.
I like pictures.
Yeah, exactly. They'd rather have a picture that has a picture and then a little word, a picture and a little word, and picture and words, and that's it. Really, pictures and cut lines.
I want your next big lesson to be taught with one motion GIF. That's all I want.
Oh boy, I think I could do it. I think. Oh. Very good, guys. We're going to bounce here because this is one of the other things we've talked about is spending, the balance of time and with family and such. And I need to head on in to go tuck my crew into bed. And this is something that I really try to do at about 9 o'clock each night. So love to stay on longer and chat some more, but we got to balance that. We got to balance the family and doing our fun stuff. But again, we thank you guys.
We're done.
Thank you guys for watching tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll be back. We're going to be doing it again. We'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern time where you guys can come in here and we'll chat a little bit more. And then,
4,000. You want to come tomorrow night?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're going to be giving away the controller. Awesome stuff. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Been a great night. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it, and the cold didn't knock you down too much, so I'm very happy.
It's all good. Yep.
We were wondering if you were going to cough up a lung or something like.
The medication is working great.
Nice. I don't remember one of the shows.
Halls breeze, Chloraseptic. I'm good.
Yeah, I had one show where I had that stuff, and it was great. And then I started 10 minutes into the show, the cough came on. There was just nothing you could do except you hold it and go under the table. And
yeah, didn't want to miss tonight. I was glad to be here. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, glad to have you guys. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you can share the link to the things, that would be awesome. And we'll be back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News, MJ from DJN TV, and Mike from Louisiana coming to you tonight from the Disc Jockey News. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
The Disc Jockey News 12 Days of Christmas are sponsored by Projectogram, Top Hitch USA, Eternal Lighting, Omni Systems, Chavez DJ, ADJ, Prime Cuts, DJ Event Planner, Denon DJ, Promo Only, Blizzard Lighting, and Electro Voice.